Hello everyone, welcome to Magnolia Craft. I'm Megan, and today we're going to be making these cute Valentine's Day treat boxes that look like wrapped candy. We're going to start by taking a piece of 8.5 by 11 white cardstock and cutting it down to 8 inches by 8 inches. Now we're going to get our scoreboard and score at 1.5 inches, 3 inches, 4.5 inches, 6 inches, and 7.5 inches. Then we'll turn our paper and score at 2 and 6. Now we'll turn our paper again and make a little mark at 3/4, 2 1/4, 3 3/4, 5 1/4, and 6 3/4. Then we'll flip our paper over and do the exact same thing on the other side. These aren't full score marks, they're just a mark so we'll know where to cut later on. Now we're going to cut away the small sections on the side of the paper where we have our 1/2 inch score. Now we're going to miter the corners on that little flap on the end. Next we're going to need to cut the 2-inch flaps into triangles. You totally don't have to use a ruler and a pen here. I was just demonstrating how you want to cut them, but you just want to make sure that you have a point on the end of each of these sections. It doesn't have to be perfect, just enough so that you have something that your ribbon can tie onto later. And this is why we made those marks at the edge of the paper. So you're just going to cut from that mark to the intersection of the score marks at the 2-inch mark. Now it's time to burnish all of our score marks. It would have been smarter to do this before I cut the triangles. So if you're not watching and crafting as you go ahead and do this step first because it'll save you time. Now I'm going to take my We Are Memory Keepers hole punch and just punch a hole through all of these triangles on both sides. This is where we'll thread our ribbon through. It doesn't have to be perfectly in the center, just close enough will work. Now I'm going to take a piece of pattern paper and cut 5 pieces at 3 3/4 by 1 1/4. These will be our decoration for the sides of the box. Now it's time for a dry fit just to make sure I cut them properly, and I did. So I will go ahead and ink them all up with some Distress ink in Vintage Photo just to add a little depth to the project. You totally don't have to do this, I just like the look. With some paper it wouldn't be appropriate, but with this paper it's got a little bit of an antique look, and I think this helps boost the final result. Now it's time to glue everything together. I made sure to keep these papers in the order they were on the pattern paper originally so that the pattern is continuous, but you don't have to do that. It just depends on the look that you want to achieve. I'm a little anal retentive, so having a continuous pattern makes my brain happy. Now it's finally time to put the box together completely. If it looks like mine was already glued together and then taken apart, you would be correct, because I forgot about putting the pattern paper on and glued this together completely earlier and had to pry it apart, because it is 100% easier to put the pattern paper on before you assemble a box. Although you wouldn't know it from the trouble I'm having putting this together. Now I'm going to cut 2 pieces of ribbon to thread through the holes at the top and bottom. There's really no right or wrong way to do this, although I did find that going in the first hole from the front and then doing all of the rest of the holes from the back actually made it a lot easier to cinch the whole thing together in the end. So that's why I'm struggling so much in the beginning here, because that's not the way I was doing it. So whatever is the easiest for you to actually get the ribbon through is what I would suggest doing. Just trial and error. Once you've got the ribbon threaded all the way through, go ahead and tie a bow at the top, and be glad that I sped this up very quickly for you, because you would not believe how long it took me to tie this bow. Once you've got one side tied together, it's time to put in your treats. I'm choosing some leftover Christmas Hershey Kisses, because why not? And then go ahead and tie the other end together. Again, just putting the ribbon in through the front hole and in through the back of all of the other holes, and it'll actually be much easier, which you can kind of tell that I'm struggling less with this side. Kind of. Alright, thanks so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and hope that you try to make one yourself. If you do, please share it with us on social media. You can find us everywhere at Magnolia Craft LA. The links will be in the description, as will links for anything else I can provide for what I used for the project. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and leave a comment and let me know what you want to see from us in the future. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.